Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. Hi, hello-y, my name is Loey. If you're anything like me, and I suspect some of you are, and you spend a lot of time just perusing the internet to find spooky things to watch, I'm sure you've stumbled across those videos that are like scary children's drawings with disturbing backstories, right? Those videos always really freak me out because I'm convinced that kids can see things that we can't sometimes. I just think that kids are very sensitive to spirits. But then I stumbled across something that truly terrified me. An analog horror series titled Children Under the House. This is from Vintage 8, which is an absolutely amazing channel here on YouTube. If you love scary stuff as much as I do, they make a ton of really cool horror series, and Children Under the House has to be my favorite. My chat and I watched the whole thing on Screamstream one night, and I wanted to share it with all of you. So without any further ado, here is Children Under the House, aka some of the scariest kids drawings I've ever seen in my entire life.
Last week, I purchased a repossessed storage locker. Inside was an old desk, an outdated computer, and a filing cabinet. The letterhead of a few loose documents read, "The Office of Julia Liu." From what I could find, she was a successful child therapist in Kate's Crossing from the late 70s to early 90s. Her obituary stated that she died on December 18th, 2015. At a glance, this seemed like a typical haul. Typical, if not for the collection of VHS tapes hidden in the false bottom of the desk drawer.
Hey John. $1 million idea. A way to share a video without waiting on the mail. What do you think? Anyway, as I said on the phone, I think this may be the easiest way to get you up to speed on what I'm dealing with here. And before you ask, no, we don't have releases for the family. They refuse to have their likeness involved in any way. However, they did allow me the use of Jessica's drawings. We will need to change their names when we get to the writing stage. Regardless, I think you'll be able to see why I think this will make one hell of a book. So, prior to our first session, each member of the family was given the standard questionnaire. The results are as followed. The patient's name is Jessica Daniels. Jessica, or Jess, as she prefers to be called, is 7 years old. Normal birth, no complications, no medical issues. She's intelligent, sweet, friendly, and highly empathetic. The child was born in Houston, Texas, where she never had issues in school or socializing with peers or adults.
Okay.
The family bought the Clark's house. Beautiful house. I love how it's built up on columns.
The house kind of looks like a monster house. Do you remember that movie, Monster House? That's kind of what it looks like with the red windows and door. I'm a little bit troubled that this is what the kid is drawing for her therapist.
And I'm sure you remember the Clarks from your time here. Sweet old couple. They own that little dive you used to drag me to for lunch. What was it? Oh yeah, the Burger Shack. But anyway, according to her mother, Carol, Jess had a particularly tough time adjusting. She didn't notice anything out of the ordinary until the second week, Wednesday night to be exact. They think it was after midnight when Jess ran into her mother's room screaming. She claimed there were people living under the house. Carol dismissed this as a nightmare, but it started happening night after night until Jess finally refused to sleep in her room.
You can see here that the video says, like, come under the house. Want to play? What's your name? Hello? Hey! Like, and you can see here Jess, like, crying. It's almost like she's hearing these people under the house, like, telling her to join them, which has to be so scary for her.
She moved the child's bed to her room, but Jess continued to wake up saying the same thing. She could hear people talking under the floor. Carol made sure to note that Jess never had problems sleeping in Houston. Adam, the child's father, fed up with having the child sleeping in the room, devised a simple solution. He brought her under the house, tried to show her that there wasn't anything there. And according to Adam, there wasn't, but Jess was convinced she saw something. The girl got into a ball and screamed until her voice gave out. She's been mute since that day.
So after her dad took her down under the house to be like, hey, there's nothing here, she saw something he didn't, screamed so loudly, and then has not spoken again. What did she see under the house, and why doesn't her dad believe her? I don't like that in these drawings her dad is just sitting here like stone-faced.
After a series of tests and multiple second opinions, no physician could find anything wrong. There's nothing hindering the girl from speaking. Therefore, the conclusion is that her condition is mental in nature.
Like she got too afraid to continue to speak. Like something has scared her so badly she can't talk anymore.
The drawings you are seeing are currently her only form of communication.
Oh, that's interesting.
From observations and the questionnaire, I have a few thoughts on the other family members. Carol Daniels. She's the children's primary caregiver.
The mom.
From what I can observe, she's a caring mother. However, she is deeply resentful of her husband, Adam, for forcing them to move from Houston to Kate's Crossing.
She said, I understand this is about the child, but let's spill a little bit of tea.
Adam Daniels is an obvious workaholic. He spends the majority of his time at work. Dean, her brother, typical early teen. He wasn't happy about the move, but seems to be adjusting adequately.
So that was the end of the questionnaire. This is interesting so far. The child only communicating via drawings after being that afraid that she would never speak again is a really, really interesting thing, I guess, a really interesting dynamic here. Good news, Mrs. Daniels will allow me to tape record my voice during the sessions. I will splice in Jessica's pictures and give general descriptions and notes when appropriate. So this is the first session, I guess, after their initial meeting when they got to know each other.
My name is Miss Julia. How are you today?
That's a pretty nice drawing of Miss Julia. Okay, Jess says I'm okay.
Has your mom or dad told you why you're here?
To talk.
So how about we get to know each other? Would you like that?
Okay. That's nice, at least, that she seems open to it.
What's your favorite food? Mine's spaghetti.
French fries! Let's go, Jess. Queen for that.
What's your favorite color?
Blue.
I like that one too.
A good choice.
Tell me about your family.
Ooh, that looks like mom cooking dinner with a drink in her hand. Perhaps an alcoholic one. And that's dad growing a beard because he's been sitting at the computer working for so long. And then her brother's on the phone just jabbering away. Pretty interesting family dynamic. And then we have Jess alone with no one around her and like a teddy bear.
Why are you frowning?
She won't say why she's frowning in the photo.
Okay. So how about you tell me who that is?
Is it a teddy bear? Or something? She doesn't say anything.
Did your mom or your dad get him for you?
No. He belongs to my friend.
That's very sweet. Tell me more about your friend. I want to make a note here. She stared in the corner of the room as if she was waiting for permission. She then shook her head in the negative.
Like shook her head no?
Is someone here, Jess? Is that your friend in the corner?
Her friend, her imaginary friend is coming. Oh, yep. That would be the friend. That looks like a face.
Another note. That clearly looks like a face. It appears that she has an imaginary friend. What's their name? Maybe we could all play together.
This therapist is so brave because if a child drew me a photo of her friend that was sitting in the corner of the room with us and it looked like that, I would just run. I would simply skedaddle.
No, she would no longer participate in my questions at this point.
Oh, interesting.
Regardless, I thought this was a decent first session. Let's try to talk by the end of next week.
Okay. So definitely seems like Jess is willing to talk, but there's a line. There's kind of a barrier where she doesn't want to say more. And I think that barrier is when she has to start talking about her imaginary friends. Because I think she's going to say some stuff that's going to freak Miss Julia out. And Jess knows that. So we're getting into session 2. These tapes seem like something's not quite right with them. Jess says fine. She's writing in red.
And what did you do last night?
watch TV, but it seems like she watched a red screen. Oh
Let's
dear.
play a game. If a genie came out of a bottle and granted you 3 wishes, what would those be?
That drawing is so freaky. She doesn't want to play that game.
How about I go first then?
Loves the beach. To eat what I want and not gain a pound. Okay. I was saying I hate that a 7-year-old girl is worrying about that, but that's unfortunately very realistic. I think that I started worrying about my weight when I was like 8 years old. So, and then I guess the last drawing here is pretty concerning because it says a happy
I'm hoping the last one can be true. Want to try?
Okay. How can we make a happy Jess? We see that the whole family is happy. She just wants her whole family to be happy, really. Oh, and she wants to go back to Houston. Understandable. If she wasn't having these horrifying experiences there. What would be included in making a happy Jess, if that's what these drawings are, is somehow letting the children who live under the house out. Because see all the angels? That's a lot of people who
Are these angels?
live under the house.
Is this who you think lives under your house?
Kinda.
So you wish they'd leave?
I wish they could. She wishes they could leave.
Let's talk about your friend, okay? Okay, John. Again, the girl stared into the corner of the room, almost like she was waiting for permission.
But it was the same
Is that
corner.
your friend? What's their name?
No reply. We don't get a name. Ugh.
Would you tell me their name if I gave you a sucker? How about 2? One for you and one for them.
Listen, that's a good tactic.
Once
Maybe
again, the
she'll-
girl looked into
okay.
the corner of the room, then shook her head yes.
Good idea. So now they both get some candy. Tell me that's not the friend. Tell me that's not the friend. Oh, no.
I have to admit, I found that image quite disturbing. However, it isn't the creepiest imaginary friend that I've had drawn for me.
What could possibly be creepier?
Does your friend live under the house?
Yes. And she was like missing half her body.
How many friends live under the house?
10. Maybe more.
Why do you think they're there?
What happened in this house? Like, why are all these
Are you
kids...
still scared of them?
Why are all these kids down there?
Would you like them to go away?
Oh my god.
Note, a picture frame fell off the wall. It was located in the corner of the room she claimed her friend was standing.
No.
Needless to say, it gave us both a good jump. Ha ha.
Miss Julia, you need to get the hell out of that office, girl. You need to get the heck out of there, Miss Julia. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. What do you mean? What do you mean a picture frame then jumped off the wall? And she writes, ha ha.
So, 10 imaginary friends.
That's a lot.
That child has a lot to say, but she's having
friends.
trouble finding someone to say it to. Most likely the father. For homework, I'm going to try and have Dad ask questions. Mirror what we're
Good idea.
doing at home.
See if she'll open up to Dad.
Alright, John. I look forward to our chat Sunday. Bye.
What is John? And I guess we don't really know who John is at this point, but like, what is he thinking as he's getting these videotapes? Does he think this is a troubled child who has gone through a move and a lot of trauma and just needs to be like in a space where she can talk it out? Or is he starting to think something's not quite right here? I don't know. I'm really curious.
And sorry this tape is a little late, but I think I have rats. Something has snuck into my office and eaten all the candy.
You do not have rats. You have a little girl's ghost that lives under her house coming back to your office to eat all of the candy. That's so scary.
Hey John, tomorrow is Jess's appointment, but I had a few thoughts I'd like to share, so forgive me if I start rambling. You and I have seen quite a few disturbing children's drawings. But I must admit, after re-examining this drawing, I feel there is something oddly true about this image. I feel like this drawing is rooted in something the child has seen, perhaps a movie or something on the news. Maybe Dean tried to scare her, or it could be as simple as a scary story. I've even thought that maybe
Dean
the
is the big
imaginary
brother.
children might represent friends she left behind in Houston. Maybe Maya was her
Oh,
best friend.
Maya. Maya is the girl's name. The imaginary friend who has half of a body. Anyways.
Hey, Jess, would you like to play another game? Let's draw a picture of you as an adult.
What is she gonna say? Okay. She's into it. She's down. Oh, look at her! Little Dr. Jess! Aww.
Why do you want to be a doctor?
To help people. Oh, Jess
And I'm
has
sure
a
you
good
will.
heart.
That's a very good quality to have. So, what does Maya want to be when she grows up? Note, as you might suspect, John, Jess once again became fixated with the same corner of the room.
Maya's coming to
She shook
therapy
her
with
head
her.
in the negative over and over, and the motions became more and more aggressive. And as I was about to stop the young girl, Jess picked up a crayon.
Maya doesn't get to grow up.
Why is that, Jess? Note, I'll be honest, John, I was scared to ask that question.
Yeah. You were brave to ask that question.
Everybody gets to grow up, Jess.
Not if they're dead! Not if they're dead.
You think Maya is dead?
Yeah. Yeah. Is that supposed to be Maya? Under the house? She's in a car. Wait. That was Maya in a car. It looked like she was in the trunk of the car too. Did they get into an accident? It's hard. Oh, it looks like they got into an accident. And oh my God, and that's where her bottom half went. Oh no, oh God, oh no, oh Maya.
Why was she in the trunk?
She doesn't remember, but I think something bad happened to Maya before she got into that car accident. But she knows bad people put her there. This is creepy. Now she lives under the house with her friends.
What can you tell me about her friends?
They are all very sad. Only I can see them.
So, do you play with the other friends?
Some of them she plays with. Some of them scare me.
And why is that?
Because they want to hurt me. And force me to live under the house. They want
Does Maya want
Joss
to hurt
come
you?
down there too. No, she protects me. So Maya is actually her friend. Oh my God. Oh, that scared me.
Before you go, Jess, can you do me a favor? For our next session, can you tell me more about your friends? Draw them?
Yes, that's nice. By the way, they are sorry about eating the candy.
Note, and I'm sure you will ask, I don't know how she knew I was out of candy. There was a moment she was alone when she first arrived. Maybe she peeked in the desk. That's likely it, or the child is talking to the dead.
They, the friends, are sorry about eating the candy. At least they said sorry, I guess, but damn.
Usually my conversations with Mrs. Daniels don't extend too much beyond the session and pleasantries, but this time I could tell the woman was in distress. She asked quite a few questions about Maya. I of course told her that most children have imaginary friends and that I wouldn't worry. She was also very curious about the Clarks and if they had any children. Of course, as far as I know, the Clarks didn't. When I questioned her curiosity, she mentioned that they have found some old toys, such as Jess's bear, a toy truck, and a few other things.
So children.
Mrs. Daniels also mentioned
there.
that Jess has been taking things and hiding them in her room, as well as under the house. I'll have to ask her about this in the next session.
Creepy. I'll send Adam's homework after I've had a chance to go through the material. And Adam, I think, is the dad. So here's the homework. I'm guessing this is going to be her conversations, Jess's conversations with her dad that they were sent home. The following drawings and notes are the result of the homework I gave Adam and Jess. This is on night 1, Wednesday. How are you doing, sweetie? That's what her dad asks her. Fine, I guess, is what Jess replies to him. It's nice that he's communicating with her in the style that she's comfortable with. How was the thing with Dr. Lou? Good. We like her. And who is we, Jess? Yep, we, her dad asks. Maya and me. Her drawings with her dad seem so much more like, I don't know, like relaxed. Right, Maya, I forgot. So, are you looking forward to school? Not really. Aw, she drew herself sad. I'm scared kids are gonna think I'm weird. Honestly, valid fear considering all your imaginary friends. Honey, but why would you think that? Why would you think that? Because I am. You're not weird, Jess. You're just haunted. I can't talk. I guess there's also that part, of course, but... And I see ghosts. Okay, valid concerns. Valid concerns. They're imaginary, not dead. And Dr. Lou, I'm sure Dr. Lou is telling you the same thing. This tape is so corrupted. Maya is not real. Of course she is. I can see her behind you. You hurt Maya's feelings. Oh no. You made them mad. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh God. Now I am mad. Jess, please. And her dad here just says fine. He's just like, fine. Fine, I hurt their feelings. Get ready for dinner. You're not being dad of the year over there, Adam. But he continues, I guess, with night 2, which is Thursday. How was your day, baby? Oh, at least he's being nice, trying to be friendly. Fun, she said. Oh, that's good. What did she do? What did you do, Jess? Oh, that was fun. You were under the house with Maya, it looks like. Maya read me a story. What is happening here? Why, what is going on? They're playing like hopscotch? Is that another friend? Oh, it's Maya's other half. I see, they're playing hopscotch. And Maya's other half is playing. What's wrong, Dad? What's wrong? What's wrong, Dad? You look scared. What could you possibly be scared about? Go watch TV. I have more work to do. Is her dad freaked out, or is he just being like a bad father? Is he scared? Or we'll do the question thing later, is what Adam says on Friday. Oh, and he didn't, and then they didn't do it on Saturday or Sunday. They just decided not to do it. Monday, the mom does the assignment for the dad instead. Dad had to work late, so we're going to do the homework, okay? Just says, okay. Mom is also so brave. You think I'll ever hear your voice again? That's what Mom asks. I don't know. I don't think you should pressure her. I mean, if she's not speaking, there's got to be a reason. Sometimes I think about taking you and Dean back to Houston, and Jess says you can't do that. They will never let me leave. I don't think they'll let any of us leave. The house? Ever? Who? I mean, I know who, but maybe the mom doesn't. I know you've seen them. Jess. Jess, out of the corner of your eyes. hear things. You're joking me. Notice things aren't where you left them. They are always there. Who, baby? Who's there? The children under the house. And then you can see an actual family portrait that's so different from the one she drew in therapy, where she was like, I want us all to be happy. It's the family, miserable, and wow, all of the children under the house around them. Holy cow. What happened in this house? We're their family now. And you can't leave family. Right?
There is a lot to unpack here. At times, I feel as if she was antagonizing Adam with the drawings, almost like she was trying to push him away just to see if he'd stay. Unfortunately, Adam did just as she expected.
Real.
Jess probably won't speak until she can finally let this world go and accept that her parents' problems aren't her fault. Speaking of which, I probably should recommend a good marriage counselor for Adam and Carol. Alright, John, I'm looking forward to your
Brutal.
thoughts
I
as
love her.
usual.
Earlier today, Carol stopped by the office unannounced. She handed me a folder of additional drawings by Jess. I could tell that she had been drinking, but it wasn't to the point where I felt it impaired her thinking. The notes included on this tape are from memory. Regardless, I think you will find them worrisome. That's right, because the mom didn't give her any permission to use their likeness, so she probably has to, like, write it all down. Hello, Dr. Lou. Oh, this is Carol, the mom. Hello, Dr. Lou. How are you? Fine, Carol. What can I do for you? Did we have an appointment? No, I'm here alone. What could have bothered the mom so badly that she showed up to her own therapy appointment? I feel so damn stupid. I let myself believe it all could be true. What could be true? The kids under the house? I'm not following, Carol, is what Miss Julia is saying here. It looks like there's other text here. Do you see that? I wonder if that could be something. I wonder if that's just writing on the other page or something, but you can see like very faint writing here. I think 8-Bit Ryan may have pointed that out as well, but I'm not following, Carol. And she says, I'm sorry. I'm kinda all over the place. A small part of me is relieved. And the other part is just really worried about my little girl. What did she figure out? What is going on here? Maybe start at the beginning. Yeah, you're not making a lot of sense here, Mom. Have you looked at the homework? This is what the mom is asking her. And Miss Julia says, of course. I let myself believe it. All of it. Jess seems so convinced, so sure. And those are the kids that live under the house. I thought, well, hell, maybe there are dead people living under the house. So Mom got a little tipsy and is freaking out. After all, my kid can't be crazy. Jess isn't crazy. She's just a kid dealing with a lot. I started seeing them too, Dr. Lou. And Jess knew that too. Jess said earlier, Dr. Lou asks, who did you see? But remember earlier, Jess was like, you know they're there. And the mom says her friends. She's seen the friends. She's seen the kids under the stairs. Under the house. I don't know why I keep thinking under the stairs, but maybe because it looks like there's stairs going down. I believe in an afterlife. It's not that big of a stretch. Right? Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say also this all began when they moved there. I would believe my kid. There are lots of reasons that could cause this stress. Exhaustion. My son has seen things too. And there's Dean. It almost looks like something's trying to grab him. Things he can't explain. He's heard Jess talking to another girl, but always finds her alone. These are creepy. And there's Mia. God, you know that bear of hers? We've thrown it away a dozen times, and it always comes back in. Oh, the bear's name is Mr. Bartleby! Hello, Mr. Bartleby! It comes back every time. Well, that's not that creepy, right? He looks like a friend. You know, I have a colleague I think could help, is what Miss Julia says. Maybe you and your husband could benefit from a session. Oh, she's telling Carol she thinks she's crazy. No, I don't need that. Or at least I'm sure that's how Carol took it. I know all of this is just in her head. What happened? I had the whole yard dug up. Every inch. Every tree. Carol. Outside the house. Carol had to have seen something that scared her to this point. She believes her daughter. Because why else would you have them dig up the whole yard? And underneath. The whole house and underneath, too. Does that mean they dug under the house? Is that what she's saying? Police even brought dogs. Oh no. You know what we found? Somehow I feel like nothing. Nothing. Wow. There are no kids under the house. Just a box of toys and a few menus from some old restaurant called the Burger Shack. Oh, that's where the former owners, the Clarks, work. I think they own that place. I hate to ask this, but is the reason there are no bodies under the house because they were served at the Burger Shack? Is this an absolutely unhinged theory too early in the video to determine? Because that's the vibe I'm picking up. Thanks for listening. Adam, the dad, thinks we've all lost our minds. It's just good to have someone to talk to. I can't even imagine. That would be awful not to get off your chest. I still need to call the Clarks. I don't know if you're going to get any answers from them, but see if they want their stuff. I think that the Clarks would be very freaked out to realize that there were like toys and things left in the basement. I feel like there's no way, if they are the ones who maybe did something to the children that ended up under the house, that I cannot imagine a world where they would have left things like that behind. You know what I mean?
I am very concerned for Jess as well as her entire family. It's fortunate that she was able to let go of the delusion, but it is concerning how quickly she chose to buy into it.
I think that there has to be a reason for that.
If things continue to deteriorate, we may need child services to step in.
I think that Carol saw something.
Let's speak after you get this. Talk soon, John. Hi, John. It's a few hours before Jess's session, and I just received a phone call that absolutely made my day. Adam called and asked if I had a reference for a marriage counselor.
Hey, that's good.
This gives me a tremendous amount of hope. Even if they can't save their marriage, they may be able to learn how to cope and keep their problems from spilling onto Jess.
That's a great update before they get into their next session.
Note, considering what I have reviewed in the homework and the conversation with Mrs. Daniels, I was surprised to find Jess in such a chipper mood.
Chipper? Yeah, she looks pretty happy. That's a smiley, that's a happy Jess. Okay. Are Maya's arms getting longer? Am I crazy?
Hello, Jess. How are you today?
And Jess says, great. She's doing good. That's wonderful. And Maya says hi too. So Maya's also happy?
Oh, hello, Maya. So what's new with you? Note. She opened a manila folder and handed me a note from her dad.
Hey, sweetie. Sorry about the last few weeks. I'm sorry for a lot of things. I can do better, and I will do better for you, your mom, and your brother. I love all of you more than I love myself, and I'm going to start showing it. What? I'm ready to start believing you, baby. Love, Dad. Wait, what?
Note. Clearly, Adam is turning a corner. I believe this will be very important in getting Jess to start speaking again.
Was the wording of the note not like concerning? Like, yes, it's good, but the way that he worded some of that is kind of weird. I love all of you more than I love myself, and I'm going to start showing it, is what he said here. I mean, like, I guess that's a good realization, but what a strange thing to say to your 7-year-old child.
This is great, Jess. So is this why you're in such a good mood?
It has to be at least part of it. Oh yeah, she says yeah. And Dad wants to take us on vacation. Sorry for Hades squeaking. We might go to the beach. Her dad writes her that whole letter, says all of that, and then wants to take them on a family vacation. He said Maya can come too. Isn't that great?
Of course it is. Either place sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. I'll keep my fingers crossed for the mountains. Did you have a chance to do the homework?
Yep. She did her homework. She's writing in a way that makes it seem like she's much happier. Maya helped her with the homework, apparently.
No. John, I thought I was prepared to see what she wanted to show me.
Oh no.
I was wrong.
Oh no. Is that the burger place? That's Maya. I don't understand. The bad people gave Maya Mr. Bartleby. That's how they stole her. Maya wishes she didn't leave her family. They stole her at the burger place? Maya's family. Shelly has a balloon and a toy, it looks like. Are these the other people? Oh, and then that was Shelly. She's saying that the Clarks kidnapped her. Shelly was scared until they gave her some medicine, but it was too much. Then she woke up under the house. So they give these kids like toys and stuff. And that's Wendy after. Good God. Seeing the way that these normal... Wendy remembers being dead before she died. Being dead was supposed to be freedom. But it was another trap, another prison. All of these kids are outside of this house with toys. Did the Clarks give them these to lure them in, make them think they were safe and had this home? Zach, the boy who burns. Zach doesn't remember his family. Every day was blurry until the last day. Zach was stuffed in a fireplace after his neck broke. Look at somebody watching from the window. And that's what Brad looked like after. Brad is the oldest. He was someplace dark for a long time. They forgot him and he died. He thinks his body is still where they left it. He was in someplace dark. Does that mean he's still in the house? And then this is Mark. Oh no, these drawings are so disturbing now. Like, so disturbing. Mark remembers running, but he didn't get far. The last thing he remembers is a loud bang. Then he woke up under the house. Do you see that up top? That's literally the writing for the Burger Shack. This is the Clarks. They are like luring these children in at their restaurant. And they're somehow staying under the house. But there's no bodies. There, at least. Kate is the scariest one under the house. She has a hand for every hand that hurt her. Oh. I see. Yeah, Kate sounds pretty scary.
These images are coming from somewhere. I can't believe all of this is the product of her imagination. A young girl shouldn't be able to recall some of these details. So who are these people?
They're the children from under the house, right? Not everyone under the house wanted to talk. Oh, I see. Most can't remember anything, but they're mad because they want to remember.
Well, thank you for doing this. Will it be okay with you and Maya if I keep these?
Sure. God. What would you even...
Thank you.
What
So
would you even
Jess,
say?
why do you think you stopped speaking?
I traded my voice for eyes. They needed me to see, so I needed to give something to get something. It was the only way to see my friends. She gave up her voice.
So you don't think you will ever speak again?
Maybe. It depends. Depends on what?
Depends on
Yeah.
what?
If they ever get to leave. So Jess can't speak again until these children's souls get to rest. Can I ask you a question? Is that Maya writing?
Absolutely. You can ask me
The
anything.
pink. Oh, Maya says you talked to an imaginary friend too. It's why she knew we could trust you. Who is John? Oh my god, I have chills. Who is John?
John, I've never mentioned your name to Jess or her parents. They know I'm interested in writing about Jess's case, but they don't know that I'm collaborating with another
No.
therapist. I need to think about this a little more. I'll get back to you.
Because how did Jess figure that out? Except that she has ghost friends who know everything.
John, I know you disagree, but I'm leaving for the library. I have to know if any of this is true. I know you think there's a logical explanation not rooted in the supernatural, but unfortunately I just don't see it.
Miss Julia's coming around.
I have never mentioned your name. Your name isn't written anywhere in my office. It's not even on the tapes. And no, I don't edit these videos in the same location I see patients. I've gone over every suggestion you gave me, and none of them line up. Not one.
That makes
Look at
sense.
it this way. If I find nothing, this will be your chance to rub it in. Tell me you told me so. God knows it wouldn't be the first time.
Julia X.
But if I do find something, then I'm not sure if I'm the right person to help this girl.
Unfortunately, you are now implicated. So you will have to help this girl.
It took most of the day, but after going back nearly 10 years, I found what I was looking for.
And what were you looking for, girl? Missing Brad Landry. Police continue to search for Brad Landry 8. And there he is. He went missing. Stop. Zach Hardy 9 never found. Police close the case. Wendy Peterson, 8, missing. And that's Wendy. This is so dark. Kate Jones taken. Child abductions or serial killer. 10 years of missing children. 15 gone without a trace. And there's Kate. They're all lining up. They're literally all lining up. Mark, 8, vanished. Shelly, 7, vanished. Shelly's still missing. And they were never ever found. Everybody, these children would have trusted the owners of this local restaurant. They would have known these owners. A sad end to the Maya Martinez investigation. She died in a car crash with her kidnappers. Oh my God, Maya.
They're all real, John.
They're all real.
They were someone's children, someone's babies. But why are they under that house? Why are they drawn to Jess? Did the Clarks see them too?
I don't think the Clarks saw them. I think the
I
Clarks are
understand
why
you
they're
want
there.
out of this, John. I know you're not that comfortable. Hold on. Hello? Speaking? What? When? I understand. Thank you. John, Adam was just murdered.
What did Adam know? What did Adam know? Why did he write that crazy message telling his kid that he loves them so much, that he loves his family so much more than he loves himself, and then he was immediately killed? I have chills. I have chills. This is terrifying. This series, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, is so good, but it's so much darker than I ever realized.
Adam's funeral went like you might imagine. I didn't expect a big turnout, though. Apparently, Adam was more popular than I thought. Even the Clarks came to pay their respects.
No. What did they do?
But I suppose Kate's Crossing has always been a friendly place.
What is happening? Why are all these people, oh my god, poor Jess. Poor Jess.
Poor Adam probably wouldn't agree. Police said it was a carjacking gone wrong. A closed casket funeral. I don't want to know what they mean by gone wrong.
I just don't believe that. I just don't believe that to be true. I think that there has to be a reason why Adam was taken out.
I really feel for Carol and the kids. With everything they've already been through, I imagine the situation seems impossible. I just want to help, but I really don't know how.
God.
Carol told me in passing that they were moving back to Houston. She said Jess wanted to do one more session before they left. I should be hopeful, but I keep thinking about what she wrote in the homework.
They will never let me leave.
Do I show Carol the articles and beg her to stay, or let them go and hope for the best? And if they do go, how do I help those poor children trapped under the house?
What do you even do? I know.
It's just too much, John. Too much. I have a week before her session. I'm going to think it over.
God, Miss Julia has gone through the ringer with this family. Holy cow. Into session 5.
I've gone back and forth on this, but after the session, I'm going to share the articles with
I
Carol.
think that's a good idea.
If it were me, I'd want to know.
Yeah. Because I don't know what will happen if they try to leave.
Hi, Jess. How are you today?
I'm sad. Poor Jess has gone through so much
I know, but that's
stuff.
okay. It's natural to be sad when we lose someone we care about.
I didn't lose him. He was taken. Oh God, Jess. Oh my God, this poor kid. Drawing photos of the scene because she knows things she absolutely should not.
Oh my God, Jess. I'm so sorry. You shouldn't be seeing something like this.
No. It's okay. I'm kind of used to seeing it. I'm
Is
assuming
that
that's what she
Shelley in the
means.
background?
Yes. She liked following Dad. She said the man in the mask seemed familiar. The man who took her father out. Because I bet you it's the Clarks. Who also
Does
took
she know who that
Sheldon.
is?
No. But she heard his voice before.
Really? Where?
She doesn't remember.
Can you ask her again? Shelley disappeared a decade ago. That can't be a coincidence.
She said that to Jess? She's sorry. But she doesn't remember, just pieces of things.
Jess, I want you to tell your friends that I want to help them, but I need any information they can give me. Can Shelley or Maya ask the others? Anything might help. Note, she started acknowledging people in every direction. I got the uneasy feeling that this room was filled with children. Note, for once the young girl looked in charge. She placed her finger on her lips to silence whoever was speaking. Finally, she pointed across the room, then started writing.
Food. They remember hearing people talking. It was loud, but the medicine kept it quiet. It was dark. All of them remember the dark. Some remember more faces than others. Money. There was always money. The woman was nice. She always brought food. Mark said maybe it was a man. He was nice too. That brought food? He brought toys.
Thank you, Jess. Everybody. I'll do my best to try and figure this out.
Oh my God. You never told me who John was.
John is a friend. We went to school together. We worked together for a few years. He lives in Florida now with his wife and kid. And what Maya has noticed is that I sent him tapes of our conversations. I was hoping he could help me with your case, and we were thinking about writing a book about you and your friends.
So he's not a ghost?
No, not yet anyway. Does this bother you? Or your friends?
Nope. At this point, they know they can trust Miss Julia. Maya was hoping to meet a new ghost. Someone that could help her, or help them rather, move on or something. You know this is goodbye, right?
Yes, your mom told me that you were going back to Houston.
Oh, Jess. I'm not going back to Houston. So then why is this goodbye?
Why not?
Because I'm going to live under the house. The ones that don't remember will never let me leave.
I'm going to try and talk to your mom, okay?
Thanks, but she's not going to listen. Come visit me, if you can. Under the house. Jeez.
Like before, the following notes are from memory.
Carol says, I want to thank you for everything you've done for Jess. It was my pleasure. Look, I want to talk to you about Jess's friends. I was having a bad day. Hell, a bad month. I let my imagination get away from me. Mrs. Daniels, they're real, and I have proof. That can't be true. We dug up the entire yard. We didn't find anything. That's because you weren't looking in the right place. Every name she gave me, I was able to find in the paper. She even knew how Maya had perished. Then Jess isn't. Jess's problem is supernatural. Then it's a good thing we're leaving. Except it's not. Except Jess is not allowed to leave. That's what I wanted to talk about. I was hoping you'd consider staying. Why? I'd like to try and help them. For that, I need Jess. Also, she doesn't think they're going to let her leave. What does that mean? It sounds like a threat. It is a threat, Carol. It is absolutely a threat. According to Jess, it is. Then that's a good enough reason to leave, isn't it? Look, I'm sorry about those children, I really am, but I have to worry about my kids first. Thanks for everything.
Jess's last session was 2 weeks ago. The next day, Carol left with Dean and Jess. They didn't get more than 2 miles away from the house when Jess had a violent seizure.
Oh no, Jess.
Jess hasn't been the same since. She no longer communicates. She just sits in the corner, blankly staring at the wall. Talk later, John.
Poor Jess, dude. Poor Jess. And she won't even draw things like this anymore.
I'm afraid we're going to lose Jess. Yesterday, she had her 4th seizure.
Oh my god, Jess.
The poor child seems weaker by the day. Every time the phone rings, I'm afraid it's Carol calling me with the worst.
They have to get to the bottom of this. They have to figure out how to save Jess. She can't leave that house. They need to figure it out and help the kids move on, or else this is just going to keep getting worse. And Jess deserves a happy ever after everything she's been through. How Carol hasn't realized that at this point, I don't know.
The good news is that Jess still communicates.
Oh!
Each morning I find several of her drawings waiting for me in the office.
Okay, good. Okay.
At least, I hope that it's her leaving me drawings.
Oh, no. Oh, God. That's what's gonna happen to Jess. Is it Jess drawing these? It's scary where I am. It's like another world here. It's dark and cold. Dad isn't here. Dad's an angel, it looks like. Dad was able to move on. So this is Jess. Shelly said he moved on. Dad reached out, tried to take her along, but something kept her here. It's so sweet that Shelly would follow him. Something is keeping all of us here. They are so confused. They try to remember, but they can't. They're stuck in a loop that makes no sense. They only recognize pieces of things. Is this gonna happen to me? Oh my god, Jess, no, it's not gonna happen to you. Miss Julia is coming to the rescue, baby. Oh, poor Carol crying. Tell Mom she can leave. I'll be okay. Oh my god. Tell Mom and Dean I love them.
Jess is not dead yet. There has to be a way to save this girl. A way to get her soul back in her body. But time is running out. I called the Clarks in desperation. I was surprised they moved back to Kate's Crossing. Apparently, RV life didn't suit them.
Or they needed to keep an
Mrs. Clark probably thought I was crazy.
On.
I can't imagine too many people who expect to get a call asking if they've seen ghost children in their home. I gave her Maya's name. Brad, Shelly, Wendy, Mark, all of them. She was clueless. She couldn't recall anything weird ever happening in that house.
Yeah, because she was doing the weird.
I must have sounded hopeless. She asked me several times to come by their place. Said we could talk over lemonade. I, of course, declined.
Never go.
I just don't have the time.
Miss Julia, please do not trust those people.
Jess doesn't have the time.
No.
I probably should call a priest, but I've always been more comfortable behind a stack of books than kneeling on a pew.
So it's time to read, time to research.
The following are the notes I accumulated over 3 days of continuous research. I never would have imagined that there were so many books dedicated to spirits, ghosts, demons, and the afterlife.
What creates a ghost? Murder, especially those that remain unsolved. Sometimes the ghost will not move on until the murder is solved. Best hope of ending this, but who could have done it? And there's a lack of a proper burial is the other way, I guess, that ghosts are kind of like created. Possible. Most of these children have never been found. And then time loops. Ghosts might be stuck in their last moments. Why don't they remember their last moments? Older ghosts may remember less and less of their former lives. So maybe the ones who can't remember are, they passed a really long time ago. But what if they already don't remember? What's left? Is anything left? Emotions? Anger in particular. Yeah, anger. The big circle. Possession. Was Jess possessed? Don't demons possess people? Can ghosts possess people? Is that the case here? I don't know. I don't think so. Yeah, no. The children are victims too. They are the victims here, and I think more than anything, they're just confused. I don't think they're possessing Jess.
What the hell am I missing?
I actually have no idea.
I've been racking my head for days. What am I not seeing?
Too many questions. Who could have done this? What is their motive? Connection between the kids? How does Ralph Kemp and Jared James fit in? Were they the killers? And those were the kidnappers who took away Maya, remember? We saw that article. Why are the kids under the Clark's house? It's so close. You're so close to getting there. Is it the location or Jess? Why was Adam killed? What was that motive? Maybe there's a piece of something in one of the drawings that I missed, or maybe in one of the newspapers. So we're back on this. That's why they can't remember, because they were drugged by somebody. Is that why they don't remember their last moments? Because they were in a drug-induced dream haze. They are reliving the confusion. But why would you do this? They weren't murdered. The children were being trafficked. Oh my God. They weren't murdered. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's why they can't remember anything, because they were often drugged for so long.
It's like Jess said, the ghosts only see pieces.
My heart is racing right now. And when you rearrange those pieces, oh my God, it spells it out. It spells it out. I knew it. This is terrifying to see. You can see the Clarks in the window. You can see the Clarks in the window of the burger shack. There's Brad.
They were at the burger shack, John.
They had to be. Those poor kids.
And who do these drawings look like?
Every hair on my head is standing.
Oh my God, it was the Clarks. And I've told them everything. I need to go to the police. But who's gonna believe this? The Clarks are one of the most prominent families in Kate's Crossing.
That family is in danger.
And I can't believe that a child's drawings will hold up in a court of law. I need to get Carol and those kids out of that house. And I shudder to think what would have happened if I took Mrs. Clark's offer for lemonade. I'd probably be under that house too.
Oh my God.
Hello?
Jump scare.
Really? That's incredible news. Yes, I'll be right over. And Mrs. Daniels, I have a lot to tell you. I don't think we can trust the Clarks, but we'll talk more when I get there.
She realized it, and Jess is starting to feel better.
Jess
Yep.
woke up, but I'm sure you'll hear about this before you get the tape. I'm dropping this in the mail as I leave for the Daniels. If I or any of us disappear, it was the Clarks.
Stop. That's terrifying. Jess is waking up because Miss Julia is starting to figure it out.
So many thoughts were racing through my mind as I drove to the Daniels home. The Clarks, Adam, the children, Jess. Why was she able to wake up now? What changed? Did I do something? Hell, maybe the ghost let Jess go. Maybe she escaped. Why does this feel too easy? And why is it when you have somewhere to be, you hit every red light? It was like something was telling me to stay away.
The Clarks?
The moment I walked through the front door, I found Mr. Clark pointing a gun in my face. Jess wasn't awake. I was lured here, and I didn't need to guess why. I knew in my heart that this was my fault. We were all going to die.
House call.
John, I know you've heard me tell this story a dozen times now, but the following drawings are Jess's account of the event. Although she was unconscious for the majority of the experience, Jess was incredibly accurate.
You were supposed to leave after your husband died. Why didn't you just leave? They literally killed Adam, the husband, the dad. Oh my God, we tried, but Jess got sick. We figured kill your husband, and we wouldn't have to kill the kids. And you can see Maya in that picture, like over all of them. Or is that Jess? I think actually that's Jess. Now our hands are tied. That's right, Jess was still unconscious. Jess, I hope you can hear me, because we need your help. And that's Mrs. Julia saying that. We can't leave. Please don't hurt my babies. Oh, Carol. Oh my God. Mrs. Clark says it doesn't matter. She's so scary. This is on you. And she's pointing to Jess. Can she see Jess? What about the other children? Were your hands tied when you kidnapped them? Hurt them? Miss Clark says, we never hurt a single kid. It was just a business. A business? Really? Miss Julia, tell that to the families you ruined. You might have not have pulled the trigger or taken a life, but you sent them on their way. And that makes you worse. You knew what kind of monsters you were feeding them to. As nasty as it is, the money saved us. I'm alive because of it. I'm not apologizing for surviving. Miss Julia, even the devil thinks he's justified. Mrs. Clark says, that's cute. But I think we have heard enough from you. Shoot him, and let's burn this place. Jess says, Mom, I don't want to die. Carol says, close your eyes, baby. Miss Julia, tell me. Do you even remember their names?
John, I knew I only had one shot to survive this. I needed the children to remember. The children were in this house with the Clarks for years, and they never made contact. I needed the Clarks to confess, admit to the crime, and if my time being a therapist has taught me anything, people want to validate their actions. You just need to know how to ask.
She's gonna get a confession out of them. Mr. Clark says, I remember all of their names and faces. You don't forget that. Maya, Mark, Wendy, Shelley, Zach, Brad, Kate, Sue, Wes, June, Linda, Kristen, Gladys. Those little faces behind the cages. These two are heartless. You are monsters. They say we're not monsters, but you are monsters. Nobody wants to see a kid cry. Miss Julia, that's why you drugged them. Isn't that right? Mr. Clark says, enough. Mrs. Clark, but what I can't figure is how do you know these names? We had this place scrubbed. You shouldn't have gotten that from a box of toys. Toys I thought were destroyed. Miss Julia, simple. They told me. Hey Maya, they remember you. Do you remember them? Maya says yes. Oh man, what is about to happen? We remember you now. I have chills. This is such a scary ending. We remember everything. You took us. Now we take you. Oh my god, my eyes are tearing up. I'm so scared. This is crazy. Yeah! Go Maya! Go kids! Mrs. Clark yells, no, we're sorry.
The children ripped the Clarks apart, then dragged every piece back into the shadows. They left nothing, not even blood.
Ugh, as they deserved. A tasty treat for the children that live beneath the house. Let's freaking go. Let's actually go. Is that Kate? I think that's Kate. All the kids just coming in to tear them apart. And
after that, Jess woke up.
Jess woke up!
The only thing left of the Clarks was their gun and a news story.
Owners of the beloved Burger Shack missing. Police have no leads. Their vehicle was found, no suspects. But police believe the worst in their disappearance.
No one will ever know what they did except us. And they will probably always be remembered as the kindly couple who owned the Burger Shack.
But they were monsters.
But according to Jess, they got what they deserved.
Yeah, I would say so. There's the devil! The devil's taking care of the Clarks. Let's go!
It's been 2 weeks since Jess woke up. Carol said things felt different in the home. Brighter. She said it felt like a different house.
There's nothing under the stairs. That darkness that used to be down there that Jess would draw every time is gone.
Carol told me they were finally moving back to Houston. Jess had been in a great mood since, but she still has not said a word.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Maybe the children took her voice with them.
Maybe. I don't know.
So how are you today?
Done that. Jess is great.
Are you looking forward to moving back to Houston?
Yes, I miss my friends. I wish Dad was coming, but I know he's somewhere watching over us.
I'm sure he is, Jess. Your mom said you still aren't speaking. Have you given it a try? No. Jess just shrugged and smiled. Looks like I got my wish. I got a happy Jess after all.
Aww. Look at her. A happy Jess.
Have you seen Maya or the others?
I got my wish too. All of the kids got to go be angels. They all got to leave the house.
They're free now.
Jess.
No, John. Her little voice was the sweetest sound I've ever heard. We spent the rest of the session playing old board games. We had a good time, and then after we said goodbye.
Miss Julia, what a wonderful friend you've been to Jess.
Like I
This
said,
is the
John,
best.
this would make one hell of a book, but I don't think it's a book I can write. At least not now. Maybe one day I'll come back to this case. Maybe. Besides, no one will ever believe it. I think it would be better to just let these children rest.
And the fact that we're watching these
Sorry to waste your
kids-
time, John. We can talk it over when I come down for Thanksgiving.
Somebody who bought that old storage unit got a hold of these tapes and just learned this like the rest of us, and that was the final session. That was such a sweet ending.
It's been 10 years since I've looked at these tapes. I thought about destroying them, but that doesn't feel right. I followed up on Carol, Dean, and Jess. Carol has a job in some accounting firm. She never remarried. Dean went to college. He's studying finance.
Yay.
Jess seems to be happy. She's about to graduate and move to New York for college. Carol says she doesn't remember Maya or the ghost children.
Oh, wow.
Neither her or Dean ever bring it up. And maybe neither should I.
And so she never wrote that book. The Children Under the House. What an incredible series. Holy cow.
Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you did enjoy Children Under the House, make sure to check out Vintage 8's channel below. As I said before, he has some absolutely amazing horror series that you do not want to miss, like tons of really cool, creepy analog horror videos. Before I go, I want to say a huge thank you to my subscribers who are members of this channel. If you want to join the channel memberships and get extra members exclusive content, including members only videos and other fun members exclusive content, you can click that little join button. It should be somewhere around the screen, probably next to the subscribe button. We would love to have you. A very special thank you to our VIP loves for their generous and continued support of my channel. I love and appreciate you very, very much. I love you all very much. If you did enjoy, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I will see you in my next video, and until then, I hope you stay spooky, friends. Okay, bye.